It's Friday, July 5th, 2024. A lot to talk about today. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe. Without further ado, I want to get right into what's happening. First article today. Feel free to comment on any of this stuff. U.S. economy, coming from CNBC. U.S. economy added 206,000 jobs in June. Unemployment rate rises to 4.1%. We're starting to hear more and more about a rate cut. What do you think about it? Will we get a rate cut in July? Will it be September? I still think, I really don't think they're going to be able to do it, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But what about the 206,000 jobs added? Now, more than likely, that will be revised next month. Here's another one from CNBC. Here's where the jobs are for June in one chart. Again, we added 206,000. Basically, 3/4 of all these jobs are government jobs. Healthcare added 82,400 jobs. Government jobs, we added 70,000 jobs. Construction, we added 27. Now, this is what I thought was really interesting. Leisure and hospitality. We're in the summer. We added 7,000 jobs. That's it. Usually, typically, leisure and hospitality has always been like the top one or two of the list. It has fallen way down the list, adding only 7,000 jobs last month. Manufacturing, we lost 8,000 jobs. Retail trade, we lost 8,500 jobs. Professional and business services, we lost 17,000 jobs. So healthcare, most of these low-wage, low-paying jobs, a lot of these are part-time jobs. A lot of these are government jobs. A lot of this is subsidized by the U.S. government. And think, why are we adding so many healthcare jobs? Because we have a lot of very sick people in the United States of America. We have an obesity crisis in America, which is leading to tons of sickness, tons of disease. So we've got to add all these healthcare workers, 82.4 thousand of them. Again, many of these low-paying, low-wage jobs, many are part-time jobs. So 82.4 there, 70,000 government jobs there. Who do you think pays for all of these government jobs? You do. I do. Is this really a growing economy when 50% to 3/4 of these jobs are government jobs? Think about that. What is really growing? Are we adding more retail trade? Should we be adding more construction? Should we be adding more warehouse jobs? More small business? This is when I look at this, it's not good. It's not good news. Payrolls rise 206,000 after huge downward revisions as unemployment rate jumps to 3-year high. May jobs revised from 272,000. Remember back in May, wow, 272,000 jobs added. Well, it was revised down to 218,000. April jobs was revised from 165,000 to 108,000. 4 of the past 5 months, we've seen payrolls revised lower. Again, who's creating all of these jobs in America besides the U.S. government? Minimal 50% of these jobs are government. More like 3/4. 75% of these jobs are government jobs that we're seeing. You're not going to remain a world superpower when everybody's working for the U.S. government. What's happening to small business? What's happening to manufacturing? What's happening to trade? What's happening to all the warehouse jobs, all the trucking jobs? What's going on with all these blue-collar jobs? Everybody's working for the government. We have a society that, again, is getting very sick. It's very overweight, very obese, and we're seeing now the ramifications from people not working out, eating terrible food, being very overweight. It's leading to heart disease, kidney disease, cancers, you name it, all types of cancers. And people are getting very, very sick. And so we're adding more people in healthcare. I don't think that's a very good sign. Of course, it's great that we have people in the industry, but I don't think we should be adding, I don't think that should be the number one industry month over month over month. Gold hits highest, this on Yahoo Business, or Yahoo Finance, gold hits highest since May after cooling U.S. employment data. So gold, as I make this video, is up $29. Silver up about 70 cents. Bitcoin down about $2,000, right around 56,000 now. Oil sitting a little bit over $83 a barrel. And this is a big concern. I think we all have to be aware of the fact that things are happening in the Middle East, things are happening with the BRICS nations, things are happening in Saudi Arabia. And if oil continues to go up, I believe we're going to see $85 a barrel here very, very soon. When we break 85, the next destination is probably $90 a barrel. This is extremely inflationary. Food, services, goods, everything goes up. Everything is transported by ship, rail, truck, plane. It takes oil to do this. And if oil prices go up, everything that gets on those boats, planes, trains, rails, is going up along with it, including your cost putting gas in your own car to drive to work, to pick up the kids at school, to go shopping. It's going to be very, very inflationary. So I don't think oil is going to be going down. I think it's going to be going up, and it just takes one missile over there in the Middle East to blow up some pipeline, and we've got big, big trouble. Here's one from CNBC. Over $170 billion wiped off cryptocurrencies in the last 24 hours as market tanks. What do you think about this? Here's my opinion. Look, if you've got security, you've got food and water, you've got some cash, you've got gold and silver put away, and you have some money to play around with, and you want to buy the dip in cryptos, and you can afford to lose some money, hey, cool, no problem. But you have to be aware the volatility with this stuff is very, very extreme. And if you can't afford to lose money, you probably shouldn't be gambling in this arena. But if you have some money to gamble and you want to be in the game, maybe now's a nice time to jump in. But this stuff can go to zero. And my argument has always been gold and silver, 5,000 years of history. It's been tested through depressions, world wars, currency collapses, famine, you name it. It's been tested. It's still here. It's never gone to zero. It will never go to zero. You could buy it today. It can go down, but it can never go to zero. This stuff right here, you can buy it today. It can go up. It can go down. It can go to zero. So you need to be aware of that. So something to think about. Be as diversified as possible. Here's another one from Yahoo News. Apartments could be the next real estate business to struggle. Wow, are we seeing the amount of multifamily units going up out here? We're now seeing a growing number of rental properties, especially in the South and Southwest, in financial distress. As many as 20% of all loans on apartment properties could be at risk. So we have these office buildings in big trouble, all these retail spaces in big trouble, the malls are in big trouble. Now we're seeing cracks in apartment buildings. Developers may have built too many higher end apartments as rents are starting to fall. And here's one thing I want to add to the article. A lot of people now are just moving back home. Or they're just getting roommates. But a lot of people are just like, hey, I'm not going to pay $2,500 for a 50-year-old two-bedroom apartment in Orange County, North Orange County. Or literally, that's almost what they're going for out here in the desert now. And people are just saying, I'll move back home. And a lot of people are choosing just to move back home. And so now it's getting more difficult to rent out these apartments. And all of this inventory of new apartments, new multifamily units coming onto the market. As interest rates go up, the economy's slowing down, and we're seeing a slight tick down in rentals, in prices. And I believe that's going to fall a lot more as soon as housing really begins to collapse. We are in a housing collapse right now. There's no doubt about it. I say that because nothing is really selling. Yes, things are selling here and there, but sales are so far down. We've never seen sales collapse like this. Things just are not selling. And anybody that tells you that, oh, it's a hot market, they're so busy, processing mortgages and closing deals, they are flat out lying to you. Nobody has ever seen a real estate market this slow. Maybe you could go back to 2008. I think we're going to have less homes sold this year than in 2008, and it's probably going to continue to get worse into 2025. Wolfstreet.com. What's the cost of mortgage rate buydowns and other incentives to home builders. This was really interesting, and this is what it now is taking. And if you're selling a home right now, if you're selling a existing home right now, not a new home like a new home builder, the new home builders are savvy. They know what's going on. In the first half of 2024, Lennar, one of the largest home builders in the US, said its buy downs rose, get this, to $47.1 thousand per household, or 10.1% of the average sales price. So on average, they're cutting prices almost $50,000. Not cutting prices, but doing a mortgage buy down of $50,000. On top of that, they're cutting prices on average 5.1%. So they're lowering home prices. I've seen them lower much more than that, but on average, almost $50,000 on a mortgage buy down, and an average of 5.1% off the price of the home. Now, they don't add the mortgage buy down to the official sales price of the home. That is just not disclosed. They're disclosing the 5.1%. They're not disclosing the 47.1 thousand that they added with the mortgage buy down. So I thought that was really, really interesting. So any of the existing home sellers out there, if you're wondering why you're not selling your home, because I look at these things every day, 5 times a day, especially in the southern part of America where I'm looking to buy, and it is price reduction after price reduction after price reduction, and still things are not selling because sellers were so overpriced to begin with that these reductions aren't even enough. It's not even real. They need to get much more real if they're looking to sell their homes. But the builders are ahead of it. So, 5.1% cut in price and 47.1 thousand in mortgage buy downs, costing them a lot of money. And if interest rates or mortgage rates stay higher for longer, I don't know how much longer the home builders are going to be able to continue to do this. And heaven forbid, mortgage rates begin to tick up, they're going to be in very, very big trouble. Here's another one today. Discount retailer Big Lots to shutter stores may go bankrupt amid elevated inflation. They've got big trouble. The cash that they did have back in 22 is dwindling. It is literally gone, and they don't have cash. We've always talked about having a war chest, having that cash reserve put away. I believe that it's important to have because there's going to be opportunities in the stock market. There's going to be opportunities in real estate. And if you have cash on the sidelines, I know that it's losing value. I know inflation, but there is going to be a value to having some cash because it's going to buy things on huge sales like real estate, land, commercial real estate, housing, toys, cars, and Big Lots has run out of cash, and they now are going to have a very, very difficult time surviving. They're based out of Ohio, have around 1,400 stores nationwide. 52 stores closed last year. They're looking at closing 35 to 40 this year. But if they get into trouble and now talking about possibly going bankrupt, this could put a lot of these stores in jeopardy across the United States of America, in return jeopardizing a lot of jobs. Also jeopardizing the tax base in some of these cities that they're in too, because when the stores are gone, they're not producing a tax base for those cities that they're in. So everybody loses, right? The cities lose, the employees lose, the business loses, the shopper loses because they don't have the convenience of having a store that they might be shopping at weekly. So we'll keep an eye on that, but it is not a good sign. These dollar stores are struggling, and it's got to tell you something about the economy. When dollar stores are struggling, you know the economy is getting really, really bad. Abigail Disney says Dems will lose with Biden on ticket, pledges to stop donating until he drops out. This is very interesting. I believe the president's in Wisconsin today. He's just chugging along like there's no issue, like there's no problem. I think maybe a few days to a week, Monday maybe, or sometime next week, I think they're going to bounce him. And this is going to be very, very interesting to see how this all plays out. But I bring this article up because Abigail Disney, the heiress to the Disney fortune, obviously has very, very serious beliefs, and I just wonder why people give money to amusement parks like Disney, or why they give money to these athletic organizations These people dislike you. They don't like your beliefs. They don't like what you believe in. They don't like who you pray to. And they're going to take this money, as they always do, and they're going to use it against you, to fight you, to take your rights, just fight you and your beliefs. And I do not understand why people just cannot cut this stuff out, that it's more important that they got to take their kids to Disneyland because there's no other place to go. Why you got to go to a sporting event when you know that that organization hates your beliefs and are going to use that money against you. I think that, first off, as I leave you today, I know a lot of people will argue this, but everybody must get out and vote. You must vote. You must vote. And secondly, you must vote with your wallet. You need to stop going to places like this. These people dislike you. I'm not even going to say hate you. I'm just going to say they dislike you. They dislike who you pray to. They dislike your beliefs. They dislike your lifestyle, but they'll take your money and they will use it to fight you and take your rights away, fight your beliefs, and just use it against you. Don't give them your money. Vote with your wallets, ladies and gentlemen. There's other places, there's other things you can do. My humble opinion here, you can do whatever you want. I don't dislike anybody that goes to Disneyland. I don't dislike anybody that goes to a baseball game. But we are in very, very big trouble here in 2024. This is spiritual warfare. We must vote, and we must vote with our wallets. And why we continue to donate money to these type of amusement parks, these athletic organizations who dislike us, I have no idea. There's other things you can do with your money and your time. Spend more time with your family somewhere else. Give somebody the money that you know isn't going to use it against you. Maybe use it for something good, right? Give it to an organization that you believe in, that you know has good morals and good beliefs. We got to stop supporting Hollywood. We got to stop supporting Abigail Disney. And you know the whole history of Disney. It is very, very disturbing, to say the least, if you go back and study what Disney's been up to over the decades. Probably not a place you really want to take your family to begin with. So I'm going to leave it there today. Let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think about the job numbers? What do you think about everybody now just working for the government? What do you think about this whole presidential thing? Are they going to bounce Joe? Is Uncle Joe going? That is the question. I think it is looking more and more like he is. He seems to be digging in. I don't know. But I think they're going to bounce him. I think he's going to give it up. I would say Monday or sometime next week, he's going to bounce. And I think we have a pretty good idea who they're going to replace him with. This is going to be an absolute circus. So you can't make this stuff up. It is a serious game now. I can't even believe people even take time to watch sporting events when we have the biggest event in history taking place right here. We have a lot to lose, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot to lose, and I hope everybody's waking up, paying attention, getting the word out, sharing these videos to continue to wake people up to prepare. Because if we get a new president in November, if you really think that that's going to change anything in 2025, I don't think so. I'd be very, very cautious about 2025. I think you're going to see some really, really crazy things. And we're seeing crazy things this year. Look at what I'm talking about right now. What's happening with Uncle Joe. This is crazy. And look who they're going to replace him with, even crazier. Again, I don't get political. This is just reality. It's just facts. It's happening. Uncle Joe's going to get bounced. If he doesn't, it'll be a shock. Who they replace him with, I'm not even going to say her name. But this is just an absolute circus. You cannot make this stuff up. Comment down below. Stay safe out there. Quick update, 122 degrees here today. I'm going to be filming indoors. I looked a couple days ago at the 7-day forecast. We had 2 days at 127. Today's 122. The coolest day in the 7-day forecast is 116 degrees. That's the coolest day in our 7-day forecast. 122 as I make this video today. It is God awful hot out there. So if you're in the West here, if you're in the desert, in the West Coast, Be careful, hydrate, be careful out there. And most of all, make sure you're taking care of your pets. Don't leave your dogs out in this stuff. Don't ever leave your dog in a car. Be very, very cautious and attentive to your animals, to your pets. It's very, very hot. Even the tortoises outside, we water them down a couple times a day, even though, they're from Africa and they're used to this. We don't take any chances. It is really, really hot. So we water them down a couple days. The dogs are in. I don't even let them go out for more than 10 minutes in this. It is really, really dangerous stuff. So be careful out there. God bless.